else that you'd like to give a shout out to, just all the work that everyone's put in?
Of course, Ansel. Ansel go hard. I don't know which one go harder, me or Ansel. I think I'm beating Ansel though today.
Yeah.
You know?
Off camera, this is the 90th year of the Detroit Golden Gloves, and you've been around it for how many years now?
Nah, you want me to tell my age?
No.
No, I don't care. No, I've been doing this since 2005. I was the coach in 2005. They would never say that. I was taking over Michigan in 2005. My scores was killing the game. Yeah. I am the best in Michigan. And I don't walk out. Do I walk out like that?
You just had this aura around that you're like, this is my shit, basically.
Really?
Yeah,
man. No, I don't try to be like that though. Honestly,
I don't mean it in a negative way.
I know you don't, but I don't. That's not my intent.
I'm here, very excited to do an interview today with Katealia Chambers. Katealia, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Good to see you. Glad you come down. Very busy woman. Really glad that she made time for us today. So just to give a little background, Katealia, she's a local amateur and professional referee and judge. She also is on the board for the Detroit Golden Gloves that's coming up here soon. So, with all that going on, that's just in her boxing life. She's got a personal life. She's got her daughter here with us, so she's a very busy woman. Katealia, just to jump into it, how do you juggle everything like that?
I don't know. I don't think about it. I just do one thing at a time,
Just wake up and take care of
listen,
business. Huh?
I wake up in the morning, check my schedule, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, so obviously you've been really busy. We've got the local amateur Golden Gloves coming up soon, and then the Nationals are actually in Detroit this year too. So I'm sure you'll be pretty busy with that. That's got to be pretty exciting for you, right?
It's really exciting. We've been busy since last year.
Yeah.
So our regional is coming up at Birchburg House, April 13th and 14th, and April 20th and 21st. So 2 different weekends. Then we had the Nationals kicking off in May 13th at Huntington Place, downtown Detroit.
Now, with Nationals being that close to regionals, what's the transition going to be like after you get done coordinating the local Golden Gloves to the National?
We have a great team behind us. So right now, I kind of took a back seat on a national because we have a national team.
Right.
And then now we're working on the regional, which we have a regional team.
Right.
So it takes teamwork. So teamwork will make the dream work. So it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to happen, yeah.
So we've had Ansel Stewart on the show before. He's also another member of the board. Is there anyone else that you'd like to give a shout out to, just all the work that everyone's put in?
Oh, man, the whole board. Of course, Ansel. Ansel go hard. I don't know which one go harder, me or Ansel. I think I'm beating Ansel though today.
Yeah.
But our whole board is awesome. Just everybody on the board, everybody on the national team.
Yeah.
Shout out to DBG, Downtown Boxing, for help hosting the national tournament. So they stepped up and like, listen, we'll help y'all. So definitely DBG. Shout out to Kylie, Jessica down at DBG and their whole team.
Yeah, that's awesome. To see, the Golden Gloves, grow over the years. Like we talked off camera, this is the 90th year the Detroit Golden Gloves is coming around. I mean, and you've been around it for how many years now?
Nah, you want me to tell my age?
No.
I don't care. No, I've been officiating since 2005.
Okay.
So I've been on the board since, I'm gonna say 2015.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's 9 years, almost your 10th year coming up. I mean, how does it feel to be a part of the 90th year of the Detroit Golden Gloves?
It feels amazing because I grew up around boxing.
Right.
So like 90 years in Metro Detroit, that speaks volumes. I'm happy to be a part of it. It just feels good, to be a part of it, to be, just in the middle of it, as a little girl coming up and understanding what the Golden Gloves, means to the community. It feels amazing, actually.
Yeah, so since you touched on it, we'll dive into that too. You said you grew up around boxing. You had 2 older brothers that boxed, correct?
Well, one older brother and my younger brother. So my older brother boxed. My younger brother boxed for a minute, though.
Okay.
But my uncle boxed, though, as well.
So you've always been around it, so...
Yeah.
Just growing up around it like that grow the love for it?
I'm sorry?
Growing up around it like that grow your love for the sport?
Oh, yeah. It's like, because I don't know, it chose me basically. I don't know how I got into officiating. I'm like, okay, I love it. I like it, but growing up around it, I guess, be careful what you introduce your kids into because it's like, that's a part of me.
It might stick with them.
Yeah,
right?
It does. Yep.
There's like, I've talked to some of the fighters and the coaches, that have been around for a long time. I'm sure there's a moment for you too. There's a moment, with almost everything in life where you just know this is going to be a part of my life forever. So what was it that happened in boxing that kind of did that for you?
When I originally started, I wanted to be a pro judge, and that story's later on because I'm writing a book right now too. But
very
I wanted to be a pro judge. So they said, okay, in order to be a pro judge, you have to be an amateur judge. I'm like, all right, I mean, I'll do that. But when I start being an amateur or judge, I'm like, I'll never stop doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the moment I realized this is where I need to be. This is it. You know, being around the amateurs, just the kids. They're honest. I like, you know, the kids. They're honest, and watch them grow up and, you know, and elevate, you know.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
You know, you said you've been doing this since '05, so obviously you've seen people from the metro level, you know, grow to be, you know, good pros and have good careers, you know, and I'm sure you're still in contact with a lot of them because
Yes.
you go all over the place watching these shows and stuff. So how does that feel to see someone that you might have reffed one of their first like 5 fights to now they're fighting for world titles and stuff? How does that feel?
It feels good because they always coming back and asking questions like, how you think I did, what I need to do, you know. So it feels good to watch them elevate again. That's why, again, I'm gonna keep on doing the amateur thing because it makes a difference in boxing and actually in the community as well.
And you know probably as well as anyone else, but you know just from when I was fighting, the Detroit community, you know, even though we go at it, and, you know, gyms, you know, hate other gyms, but it's like there's just a camaraderie that, you know, I think is different from other like local Golden Gloves or anything like that. You know, how have you seen that mature over the years?
I've seen Detroit. Actually, Detroit has a stigma. Let me just say that. You know, I've seen it grow. Like Metro Detroit Golden Gloves, we have a territory. So we embrace the different gyms. So when you fight in our tournament, we're one team, and that's what we stress. So, and to watch us go and out and compete on a regional level, national level, it's amazing. Like they'll see when people come out this year and see how we as a team, as a community, as different gyms get together and support, you know, the Metro Detroit Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, you know, we touched a little bit on this off camera also. Not only do you judge on the weekends, you know, ref on the weekends, you're a member of the boards, you have all these meetings, you have a full 9-to-5 job too. So you are just a very, very busy woman, and I, respect that a lot about you. You know, how is that, like, is that kind of just how you like to live your life? Do you like thrive on chaos like that, or how does that work out for you?
No, if I make a commitment, I feel like if I say something to you, if I give you my word, then it's done.
Yeah.
So when people ask me something, I have to think for a minute, like, can you make that happen? Because if you say yes, you're gonna do it.
Right.
So I don't thrive on it, but at the end of the day, life is not about you; it's about other people. So you know, that's how I live my life. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So moving forward, kind of towards the Golden Gloves. You know, you became a member. You said in 2015. Just from being like, you know, there's not a lot of women that do what you do. You know, do they kind of feel like everyone I talk to respects you, and everyone takes your opinion very seriously, and that's gotta be, you know, comfortable for you that everyone, you know, takes your opinion and everyone listens to you and all that. You know, how do you feel like you've ingrained yourself in the community? Being like one of the only women like on the board.
Staying true to myself. You know, honestly, coming up when I first started, it was 2 other women. I was the 3rd woman.
Yeah.
The only back then I was the only woman that was doing clinics. You know, like giving clinics for
like new refs and new judges and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was the only one at that time. You know, the woman to give a clinic. It's to pave the way for other people. You go through stuff.
Yeah,
Let me just say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but staying true to myself and to what it is. People respect me because I respect myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. I'm honest. And sometimes being honest is not always the popular thing. I don't care about being popular. I'm going to be real.
Right.
So, you know, my name is the Boxing Truth for a reason. So that's, you know, I stick to that.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe.
Yeah, I mean, just from the first, you know, it's funny because we talked about it. You know, I've been around for a long time. We never really like crossed paths until recently. And everyone I talk, we know a lot of the same people. You know, everyone's like, oh yeah, Katealia's all this. She's grinding. She's doing this. You know, and it's just awesome to finally meet you and like have these conversations with you and work together. So, you know, going into the local Golden Gloves, women's boxing has kind of been on the rise over the last few years. You know, we got, you know, girls like Michaela Meyer, Alicia Baumgart's local fighter, Savannah Teeney's, who, you know, was medaled multiple times in the Golden Gloves, now turned pro. Do you feel like an extra, like when you see them succeed, do you feel like a little extra, sense of pride in that?
Man, do I? Yes, I always support them. I always support them. Even when Clarissa, I remember when Clarissa first started, I remember her walk. Like, and I always talked to her when she was younger, because I judged her, her fights or whatever. And I watched her as a little, just a younger girl. Let me just say that. And I heard what people were saying in the background. You know, and it's funny. I'm like, that's sad. You know, when she's good. So I know I'm good. I know what people say, but keep grinding. You know, she kept grinding. So it's like, I support the women. You know, I knew that we was gonna come up. I already knew we was gonna come up. They just keep grinding. We was gonna come. It's gonna happen. Now I see it today. You know, people talking different. The same people was talking before, talking way different now. I'm like, yeah, you know, just keep grinding. And we have to show each other support, us women. You know, I know it's a man's sport originally, you know, but now women have stepped on the scene, and we're doing our thing. I've been quietly doing my thing, but there's some stuff I have that I want to do in the near future.
Right.
But yeah, just support. I support them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you say it's a man's sport, but it's quickly turning to be, you know, both sexes are taking over. Like I said, you know, Katie Taylor sold out at Madison Square Garden. You know, Clarissa Shields is obviously a big name, won a gold medal. And I never really thought about that. You've probably seen Clarissa from her first fights coming up. So to see her go from her first fights as an amateur to a gold medalist, now she's a world champion. She does MMA sometimes. She's wild. You know, I mean, like, how does that feel for you watching someone like that grow up?
You might say it's quick to you, but to me, it's not quick. You know, I remember going to a club show where they said, okay, we don't want women boxing. I said, well, you don't want women officials either. You know, like, cause it wasn't quick. You know, it seems quick because it's like, bam, we're getting our due respect. Yeah. But it's amazing. I love it. You know, they were doing their thing. You know, you ask any one of those ladies in the beginning how it was, I promise you they say it wouldn't say it was quick. They wouldn't say it was quick. Let me just say that, because to me it's like, it's about time.
Right.
It's about time. You know, Clarissa was, like I said, she was younger now. I feel she's about 20 or mid 20s or whatever. Yeah. It's been a while. Again, I've been doing this since 2005. I was the coach in 2005. They would never say that. I was taking over Michigan in 2005. My scores was killing the game. Yeah. I am the best in Michigan. Yeah. So it's just the timing. Yeah. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and so you've had that sense of confidence in yourself since the beginning.
Yeah, and people didn't like it.
What do you attribute that to? Why do you think were you just born with this confidence? Was it given to you?
I would say something bold. I was raised by wolves, literally. Like my grandparents, you know, my father, my uncles, like the men and the women in my family, we were just all tough. You know, it's just like we couldn't fall and get a scar and cry about it. It's like, you know, you fail. Get up, you know, put alcohol on and keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? So I think it comes from my background, but also it comes from just me, my determination. Like really me just being like, okay, I'm just be authentic to myself, and that's who I am. A lot of people not gonna like it, and it is what it is.
Well, I can tell you just, you know, from the few times I met you, just exude that confidence. You just walk in a room and you own it. You know what I mean? You just, because you want to let people know, for lack of a better term, you don't want to take any shit. So you just, you know, move forward and keep it grinding, and I appreciate that about you. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but you grew up in Detroit?
Mm-hmm, East Side.
So you know, recently the local Golden Gloves moved. It was out in Gibraltar Trade Center for a long time. Now it's back in Eastern Market, back down in Detroit. And I kind of hit on this with Ansel in his interview. What does that mean to you, bringing it back to Detroit?
It means a lot. But don't forget, we're called the Metro Detroit. Right. You know, but it means a lot because Metro Detroit is kind of centralized for everybody, and to where you don't have to be in Detroit and have to go across 8 Mile to Gibraltar, you know, or, you know, to entail. So it's good to be back centralized. But, you know, again, we're Metro Detroit and we represent a certain territory. So it was there for a minute. It's just back in Detroit now, which is cool, more centralized. So I think it's a good thing, though. Yep.
Now, you were officiating and judging some fights on Thursday at Wayne State Fieldhouse for Salida Promotions. You know, a lot more local cards are starting to pop up. Do you feel like the pro game in Detroit is growing from where it used to be?
Growing?
I mean, with Salida bringing DAZN in.
Oh, yes. No, most definitely. But what I want to see is our boxers take over. Like, we're Detroit. Right? We're the hub of the, you know, we have some of the best. Yeah. And I can't wait to see some of these amateurs who turn pro, you know, showcase that. You know, so that's what I'm waiting on in that end. I'm not Salida doing his thing, been doing his thing. He's gonna give back, and that's great when promoters come in and want to just showcase, you know, the city, because downtown is beautiful. Detroit is beautiful. You know, back now beautiful. But my thing is, I want to see our boxers, you know, go out there, and I want to see 3 and 4 champions. You know, I want to see it back in like we was back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, but, you know, I think because of all the publicity Detroit's gotten, like, you know, with Salida doing the big time USA boxing now, you know, he's already had two shows in the last couple months at the Fieldhouse at Wayne State. I think it will do a lot for the amateurs to see that on
Yes.
these big screens, on these big stages. Do you agree with that? Do you think that gives them extra motivation?
Definitely. Yes, it does. Yeah, and working with Salita is great. He's a real cool guy, anything. So he's great. He's a great person to do it for the city because he has a love for the city as well.
Yeah.
So my thing is that's great to showcase it here in the city because he could be anywhere doing it.
Yeah.
So of course it's Detroit. So yes, it'll give our guys that's coming up that, okay, this is what I need to do for next step. But yeah, that's a good thing.
I think it's just like he's brought Showtime here, obviously now DAZN, so he's done a lot of big things for the city. But I think just for like the kids and the amateurs, who grind, they go to school and then they ride their bike to the gym and they train and they do it all over again Monday through Friday or sometimes Monday through Saturday. To see someone from their city, from their neighborhood on the big stage like that, obviously I think that'll give them extra motivation to train harder, fight harder, and a lot of the shows in Metro Detroit have been local shows up until the past few years when Salia's brought
That's
in.
true. Like he brought Clarissa. Like she
Yeah.
was the first down. That was at MGM, I think. That was MGM. But he brought a lot of like I said, the bigger names down. Like to the city or whatever. But I hope he continue to do that because we need that. We need that motivation. So. Yeah.
Now, being a part of the pro side and the amateur side of things, how difficult is it to like switch gears from like an amateur show to a pro show? Is there a big difference or?
Not for me.
No, not for you.
No, it's a difference, and it's a difference because on the amateur side you have rules. You have the USA Boxing rules. We're governed by USA Boxing, so it's a rule books we have to stick to. Whatever different. It's very professionally ran, but it's the rules. Pro is they have their rules, so it's not for me because I've been around boxing forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to take off one hat to put the other one on. And some people who I like shadow, that shadow me. I'm sorry, that shadow me. I can show them the difference. They be like, okay, they go to a pro show. I'm like, okay, be judging. Let me know what you think versus the amateur show. So it's different in judging, but to me, it's no.
It's just business as usual for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just walk in and own it. It's like you done everything in your life.
No,
basically, right?
no, not that easy. I work hard. No, I definitely
I know,
don't.
yeah, no, I know,
but
right,
no. And I don't walk. Do I walk in like that?
You just had this aura around that you're like, this is my shit, basically.
Really?
You own
Man,
it,
no,
yeah.
I don't try to be like that though. Honestly,
Not- I don't
yeah.
mean it in a negative
Yeah. No,
way.
I know
I
you
just
don't,
think-
but I don't. That's not my intent. It's just probably like I don't know.
I think it's just a natural thing. Like you said, you grew up around. It sounds like you grew up around, a lot of boys.
I did.
And,
I did,
So you had to. You said you couldn't even scrape your knee and cry. You had to be tough. So I just think that's just something that, like I said, I didn't mean anything by it. I just think.
No,
it's
I know you didn't.
yeah.
No, I just like do I? Because people say that. You're not the only one. I'm
Okay,
like,
yeah.
oh dang, what should I do? Like, well, I don't know. Like, they say no, but I don't try to do that. But
So switching gears a little bit, we're gonna go back to the Golden Gloves. But I had a question I wanted to ask you before we talk about that. You've ref for a long time now. Do you ref professionally too, or just amateurs?
no, just amateurs.
Just amateurs.
Just amateurs. Yeah.
So there was a fight recently. It was a UFC fight, but I still want to ask the question because a gentleman got bit on the arm, and it was quite a big mark, and it was blowing up all over social media. Has anything like that ever happened? Like something nasty like that in a fight that you had to stop it for?
They got bit on the arm.
He got bit on the arm. I mean, I know that wouldn't happen in boxing.
Well-
but, obviously everyone knows about the Mike Tyson ear bite and all that stuff like that. What's the most outrageous thing you've seen in a fight?
Well, if I'm repping, if that's my personality, you said that's my personality, right?
Yeah.
The boxers know that, so they ain't about to bite nobody. What we mean?
That's true. That's
so,
fair,
but
yeah.
no, I didn't see that. But no, outrageous. Honestly, the boxers are respectful. Like I haven't seen anything that's like outlandish like that. Like really,
Okay.
Over the years,
Yeah.
I can't say I've seen anything to where somebody might get mad and if you walk out the ring. Nothing like a bite or something like that. Like that I can recall at all.
Now, have you ever like refed or judged a fight and maybe the fighters didn't agree with some of your decisions and they got into it with you?
Yeah, and I tell them, sit down, let me tell you what you need to work on.
Right.
Let me tell you what you did.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't run. You got tired too. So I break it down for them. They be like, oh, I say, yeah, I know boxing, so next time, and that's how I build a respect. And then they come back and like, oh, what I need to do. Yeah, I know boxing. Don't just come up female doesn't mean I don't know. But it's over time, they became like, okay, she know.
Right.
But yeah.
So now the Golden Gloves this year, both weekends are gonna be at Burt's Warehouse, and it's been there for quite some time. And Burt's always, they have pro shows and stuff like that. What's your relationship like with the Eastern Market and the Burt's Warehouse in particular?
I love Bert. Bert is like he's the type of leader that he's gonna be out there sweeping and mopping. You would never know that was Bert.
Yeah.
Like literally, I love Bert. At the time when we had the pandemic, and then everybody got back to business as usual. and we had to give shows. We started putting shows back on. Bert made it economical.
Yeah.
So that the people at the door don't have to pay those prices, because at that time, you know, everything was kind of, you know, just people didn't have jobs, whatever. But he made it economical to where we can drop the prices at the door. So, and he keeps it to where the prices don't have to be high at the door. So Bert really silently gives back, you know. But I like Bert. Bert is a great leader, and I like having it at Bert's Warehouse. Yeah. The location.
Yeah, it's a, like you said, centrally located, easy to find. So it's a really good venue to have a tournament like this. You know, with both weekends, how many fights do you think that you can squeeze into those 2 weekends?
At first it was 3 weekends. We had to make it 2 because it was so many fights. I don't know. We might have 20 something like a day. You know.
So altogether,
hopefully not. But 20 something a day. That's long. 20 something a day.
At the end of the 2 weekends, it could very easily be like 100 fights.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
20, 40. Maybe.
What like the day of a big tournament like that? Is it a scramble? Do you guys kind of have it under, like, you guys know what to do because you've done it so much? But there's always things that pop up, right? So how does the team handle like a big long day like that?
When I say we have a great team, we've been doing it. We've been working together for a while. So it's like when stuff pop up, it's nothing that we can't snap back on. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's like I'm so okay with where we at right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried, you know, about any mess up hiccups, because right now it's like everything is, you know, where it needs to be at. Right. But shout out to Yasmin though, because Yasmin did come on. Yasmin came in and stepped up. Like, she makes it to where my job is not as hard, you know, where I'm not running around. So this year she's doing a lot for the Golden Gloves, where, you know, I can just sit back and do other things.
Yeah.
And focus on the national a little more. So.
And I emphasize this in Ansel's interview also, but I just want to make sure that the viewers know this is all volunteer for the most part. I mean, everyone that's working on the Golden Gloves they are doing it because they love the sport and nothing else. They want to see a good show for Detroit, and they love boxing. So obviously, you know, all of us, we appreciate you guys' hard work. Now, I just want to go through the dates real quick. The first weekend is the 13th and the 14th.
Yes.
And the second weekend is the 20th and the 21st. That'll be on Bert's Warehouse in the Eastern Market there. So, you know, we're getting close to that.
I know.
It's like 3 weeks away.
I know.
Do you feel any nerves, or like you said, it's just business as usual, right?
Showtime's at 2:00. No, we're good. Like, again, my team's good. We're good. No, we're ready for that. I mean, my mind's on the nationals too, so it's like this right here is going to be easy breezy. Yeah.
So again, guys, the 90th anniversary of the Detroit Golden Gloves. Make sure you come out to see it. Katealia, I really appreciate your time here today. Been wanting to square this interview away for a long time now. Finally got our schedules in line. That does it for this episode, Jeb.
You're doing the nationals as well, right? You're in that work as well?
Yes,
So what's the logistical difference between doing the local show and the national show? Like, is everything just more amplified, or is it pretty much the same thing?
No, it's on a grand scale. It's like you're planning for 30 different franchises to come to your city.
Yeah.
So you have to get the hotels on lock of 300 plus rooms. You have to deal with, you know, what gyms they gonna work out of. You have to deal with the whole. It's a full schedule. Like, it's a full. We're starting Sunday because Sunday kicks off the Hall of Fame banquet. We have to plan for the banquet. So everything is way more intense than the regional. Way more intense. So no, it's not. That's not easy breezy. That's a lot of planning. That's a lot of planning, a lot of work, and a lot of hands touching a lot of different things. We have the Detroit Sports Commission on board, so it's a lot. It's a lot with the national. So it's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we got a good team in Detroit to take care of it and juggle all those positions and get everything flowing right. Yeah. Again, I thank you for coming. That does it for this episode, Jab.